Today I have a Samsung Galaxy A20E, and as you can see, this phone wasn't really taken care of. The back is heavily scratched and the paint, it starts to wear off. And when I flip it over, you can see that it has a huge crack on the top left side of the screen, and it started to spiderweb all over the place, rendering this screen completely useless. So what's the plan for today? Well, I'm gonna change the screen, change the back, basically make this phone look brand new. And if you want to see how I do it, stick around. Thanks for clicking on the video, and without further ado, let's jump right in. First, I'm gonna remove the SIM tray. Next, I'll use a plastic pick to open the phone up. I'm gonna go around each of the sides until the plastic back cover is removed. This A20E is a budget phone, so the body of the phone is made entirely out of plastic. With the plastic back cover removed, we can see for the first time how the phone looks on the inside. Next, there are 13 Phillips screws that we need to remove. And now I can simply remove the plastic bracket down at the bottom. Moving to the upper side, I remove the fingerprint sensor and the other two brackets. And now it's time to basically disconnect everything, starting with the battery, of course. Then with the board-to-board connector, the buttons, the RF and coaxial cables, which of course we'll remove from both boards. And I'm doing all this because the new screen comes with its own frame. So I'm moving everything from this frame and display and moving it to the new frame and display. Now it's time to remove the motherboard and the subboard. But the subboard has a screw that needs to be taken out first. And then I'll just pop it off with my spudger. Now we have only a couple of things left to remove. The first one is the vibrating motor, the other one's the bottom loudspeaker, and the battery. I've used some isopropyl alcohol to soften the adhesive first, and then I'll use my tweezers to remove the vibrating motor, which I'm not gonna lie was pretty hard to remove. Then the bottom loudspeaker, which was honestly quite easy to remove. And now the battery needs a lot more alcohol so I can remove it safely from the housing. Since there are no pull tabs or anything like that, I'll just have to remove it the old-fashioned way. And by that I mean with force. I'm just gonna clean the bottom loudspeaker a bit because it was dirty. And here's our new display and frame assembly. I'm just gonna prep it and start moving over some of the components so we can actually test it. If you want to see some of my other videos, you can click on the pop-up banner above to go to my phone restorations playlist. And if it's your first time here, thanks for watching, maybe subscribe, and shout out to my regular viewers, you guys are legends. And now all that's left is to connect the buttons and battery, and we can start testing if the screen actually works. Powering on the phone, we can see that the Samsung logo shows up, which is great. And now we'll just wait for this thing to boot. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's gonna look great nonetheless. First I have to turn the brightness levels up because I can't see anything. And then we'll just do the normal screen test that Samsung has on their devices. The touch is working great, so now we can start the final assembly for this phone. We're gonna have to disconnect the flex cables because we have to take the battery out and put some new adhesive on it. I'll use some double-sided tape because it's strong enough to keep the battery in place and also weak enough to be removed easier if the battery needs replacing. And now we can just place the battery inside and press it down to make sure it sticks. Next we add the loudspeaker, remove the plastic film from underneath the motherboard, place back the earpiece, and also place back the vibrator. I'm gonna use some liquid adhesive to make sure it sticks down. And now I can place back the motherboard and reconnect the display. Next comes the board-to-board cable. And since I was here, I just gave the charging port a nice brush. And now I can finally place back the plastic bracket near the charging port. And now I can secure it with its 7 screws. And now we can place the brackets over the motherboard and screw those down as well. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is the best phone ever made? And I'll go first. For me, it was the Nokia Lumia 1020. Yes, I liked Windows Phone and I still miss it. Right, now that we've finished with the screws, it's time to place down a new fingerprint sensor. And yes, we're also gonna change the color of this phone. And here's the new blue back cover. Nothing fancy to do here, just place it down and go around the phone until it clicks in place. Now that the phone is fully assembled, we can power it back on and remove the screen protector. Now that the phone is powering on, I wanted to test the screen again just to make sure everything works fine. And by the look of it, everything's perfect. So here's a closer look at the front and back. If you watched until now, you guys are legends, and here's the outcome. The phone is fully restored. And together we've changed the screen and the back of the phone, we've swapped around every single component, we've even changed the phone's color. And here's how the original screen looked. Looks much better now, right? And here's the back cover, which was absolutely ruined. Thank you so much for watching, you guys are amazing, hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new today. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I post videos like this every single week. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.